the Chicago Bears have claimed 6. That's right, 6 players off of waivers. So let's talk about every single one of them and break it all down. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports all back at it with another video talking some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. And boy, there is a lot to get to here. But first, I want to tell you guys, man, listen, hit that subscribe button down below. And please hit the bell icon. I promise you, you won't regret it. There's so much news coming out that I'm literally making videos left and right here for you guys. So make sure you subscribe and just make sure you hit the bell icon. That's all I ask. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about the players that the Bears claimed. The first one, Alex Leatherwood, offensive lineman, formerly of the Las Vegas Raiders. I made a separate video entirely just talking about Alex Leatherwood and what I thought about the signing. So go check that out in my recent videos. But in addition to him, and because I made a separate video, we'll talk about the other guys in this one. In addition to him, they also claimed the following players: defensive tackle Armon Watts, defensive back Josh Blackwell, defensive end Kingsley Jonathan, linebacker Sterling Weatherford, and tight end Trevin Wesco. Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper on all of these guys and talk about them. So obviously with Alex Leatherwood, high level here, because again, you guys can go check out that video, is I thought it was a good risk to take claiming him. We need offensive line help. He's just 23 years old. He's a guy who's got potential. He went in the first round. If you can get the talent out of him, it's a risk worth taking, exactly for a team like the Bears right now who are not in win now mode. We don't need guys to contribute right away. We're a team that's building, developing young players. So it was a calculated risk by Ryan Poles and a risk that I approve of, that I do think was the right one to take. So that's my thoughts on Alex Leatherwood. Let's move on to Armon Watts, formerly of the Minnesota Vikings. He's 6'5", 307 pounds. He's played nose tackle, can play 3 technique. Last year, had 5 sacks and 33 pressures for the Vikings. And I saw this on Twitter that he was expected to be a starter for the Vikings, and they let him go. So the fact of the matter is that this is a very talented player and a productive player coming to a team where we actually need a lot of help on the defensive line. We're a little thin there. So I think this potentially has the potential to have the most impact out of all of the players that we claimed, even over a guy like an Alex Leatherwood, just because of the fact that Armon Watts is talented and he's a bit more proven than some of these other guys. So I think that's a fantastic claim off the waiver wire. I really like that one for the Bears. Let's talk about some of the other guys here. Josh Blackwell, defensive back, undrafted, free agent. He's a slot corner, just to add some more depth there at that position. Defensive end Kingsley Jonathan, another undrafted free agent. He's got a good size, had 5 pressures on 39 snaps in the preseason, I believe. Linebacker Sterling Weatherford, he is a guy who had 18 tackles, an interception, a pass breakup, I believe, preseason. And then finally, tight end Trevin Wesco. He provides some depth at tight end. We only have 2 guys at that position in Cole Kmet and Ryan Griffin. So you like that. And I think he's more of a blocker than he is a pass catcher. So we do need blocking on this roster. And that's really what James O'Shaughnessy was going to provide. But I was very surprised that O'Shaughnessy got cut and didn't make the team. But I guess it was for other reasons than just his fit on the team. So those are the 6 guys that they claim. Now, I do want to point something out here. You can't just claim 6 guys off the waiver wire and then not make cuts, right? You have to cut some players to make room for this. So the Bears made their initial 53-man roster last night, I should say. And when they made their initial 53-man roster, I told you guys that this is not going to be the final team because there's going to be guys coming in from waivers that we are going to bring onto the roster. So now that we know who those guys are in these 6 players, we got to make room for them. So who's getting cut? Who's getting released? And we actually know that now, okay? So the Bears have released Kiris Tonga, who I thought was kind of the odd man out here on the defensive line. Was getting outplayed by other guys, and so I'm not too surprised by that. Former 7th-round pick of the previous regime. They also let go of Zachary Thomas, who I was surprised made the roster, but now he will be cut. They also cut Duke Shelley, who I was very shocked made the roster. I'm kind of done with Duke Shelley, and so he also got cut. And then linebacker Joe Thomas and Caleb Johnson. And Caleb Johnson, I was surprised made the roster as well. and Joe Thomas, not so much, but those guys are cut. So now you might be thinking, Faiz, that's only 5 guys, and we signed or claimed 6 players. Well, true, but remember, we had N'Keal Harry made the initial 53-man roster. Well, he's going to go on IR, and that means another roster spot opens up. So there you have that 6 right there for the Chicago Bears. So 6 players in, 6 players out. Well, 5 players out, 1 player on IR. You get the point here. So that's how the math works here with regards to this. So overall, folks, I'm a big fan of what Ryan Poles and the Bears did in terms of the waiver claims. I thought we added players that we needed at positions that we needed, and we added players that have talent and potential, and hopefully we can get it out of them. So overall, happy with that, and let's keep it moving, and week 1 will be here before we know it. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on some of these players here. Did you like the Alex Leatherwood signing? Did you like or claim? Did you like the Armand Watts claim? Like, talk to me about these other guys as well. Leave a comment down below as always. Thanks for